Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We have a great show for you today. And if you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now, 323-870-3857. And we'll be here till about 8 o'clock tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about Canelo versus Saunders is booked for Texas Stadium. Beeb, that's Jerry World, baby. Jerry World.
That's great.
And you might be surprised to hear how many people can actually attend this. All right, so we'll talk about that. But first, we're going to get started with DAZN. Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Maurice Hooker. Vergil Ortiz knocks out Maurice Hooker in the 7th round to remain unbeaten. This was a good fight, man. Hooker was definitely there to fight, so that really made it exciting. Ortiz, to me, was just stronger. His body punching was the difference in this fight. Hooker went down toward the end of the 6th round, but was able to make it out, and in the end came in the 7th with a right hand from Ortiz. But it actually it looked like Hooker hurt his hand in the process.
Yeah.
Hooker was unable to continue, was definitely like legitimately hurt. I mean, you could see it when he went down. It was almost, he looked like he was favoring that right hand when he went down. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was one of those things, but I tell you, the crazy thing was, prior to the fight, they interviewed Terrence Crawford. I think they interviewed somebody else, but they wanted him to box. That was the word coming from his corner or whatever, that they wanted him to box. Hooker, I'm speaking of, and I think it's tough. It's going to be tough to box against a guy like Vergil Ortiz, who just comes forward at a bull's pace no matter what. I mean, he is looking to get in there and, do some damage, and he's looking to do it quick. So it was, but man, credit to Hooker, and Ortiz even said it afterwards that he's got a solid chin, which is why he started going down to the body. Vergil Ortiz definitely got touched up by showing the effects. I mean, his face was really bruised up. I was surprised. I didn't think he really got hit that clean, that hard, but he really did, man. He got touched up in there. He got hit with a lot of hard shots from Hooker. After the fight, Oscar De La Hoya, Ortiz's promoter, took to social media and asked Bob Arum to give him a call about a potential Ortiz versus Terrence Crawford matchup. Now, listen, man, Ortiz had a good win, but, in my opinion, man, I don't know that he's really ready for a guy like Terrence Crawford. My reservation is, listen, man, Ortiz can be a really good boxer if you put him in there, but if you put him in there with a guy like Crawford right now, this type of thing can ruin a career. We've seen it happen when people get rushed. We've seen all that happen before. I don't want to see it with this guy. And a lot of people were drawing parallels to Teofimo Lopez. Listen, this guy is no Teofimo Lopez. And we've all seen, when we watch Teofimo, we weren't saying that, wow, he gets hit a lot. And I saw a comment by G Funky. He says, well, of course he's going to get hit a lot. It's boxing. I get that. But, at the same time, who could have imagined Crawford or Spence in there hitting him that cleanly last night?
No, I just don't think he was getting hit clean. I don't think he was
getting his face. I mean,
that doesn't matter. Means nothing. Because
really?
Means zero. Means zero. Some people bruise easier. He could have gotten caught. And it got caught in an area of his face with his very little fatty tissue, right? Mm-hmm. I'm watching that fight. I'm seeing him really not get hit flush. I'm seeing him roll shots. I'm seeing shots grazing him. Again, I think that facial damage thing is, I could see if a guy's eye, he's got a hematoma,
right,
or if a guy's sliced open, or if a guy's bleeding. But those were little blotches on his face. I'll be honest with you. Like Marquez is another guy. Like certain guys, you just touch them and they bruise up. They don't have to get hit hard. They don't have to get hit often. Certain guys, you just hit them in certain spots and that's what happened. I'll be honest with you, and this is my opinion. I respect everyone else's opinion. I thought he beat Hooker worse than Ramirez did. I think he did a better job than Ramirez did taking Hooker out. I thought Hooker. See, everyone's sitting there saying like this is overrated. Hold on for 1 second.
Yeah. All right. So while Beeb handles that, listen, man, you guys may think he's ready for Terrence Crawford. I don't know. And I get you. JC says the game plan against Terrence might be different. It might be. It might be. But I don't know, man. I would like to see him get a little bit more seasoning under him. I would like to see him get a little bit more savvy, I guess you can say, before he steps up. Al Bernstein said this morning on social media, he says that, basically that Ortiz looked great and he's ready for any of the top 4 guys at welterweight. Now, can he beat any of the top 4 guys? That's a completely different animal that we don't know. He would put up a good fight. Would he beat any of them? We don't know. And that's true. I think that's a true statement. I think that's a fair statement. You're on mute, Beeb.
Well, people don't realize who he was in there with. This is a former world champion, okay?
Very good fighter.
People hold Jose Ramirez in such high regard. But I had the fight. I think I had Ramirez slightly up before the stoppage in their fight. I didn't give Hooker a round last night.
I didn't either.
I thought
I couldn't give him a round, man.
This whole thing that Ortiz is overrated. He got hit. I just don't think he got hit a lot. People waited till after the fight and they saw his face. Facial damage is not always an indication of people getting hit a lot. You could get hit 3 times and 3 punches could hit you in the right spot, or 1 punch can hit you in the right spot, and you could break your nose, you can get sliced open. Like, look at Tyson Fury against Otto Wallen. Did he get hit a lot? No, not really. But that one shot sliced his eye open. So, again, I don't think Ortiz was hurt in this fight. I thought he was rolling shots. I thought shots really didn't hit him in the chin. Couple jabs hit him in the forehead, whatever. But I just don't think his defense was bad. He was cutting off the ring beautifully, coming forward, moving his head, working off the jab, really shortening up shots, placing shots perfectly, throwing the right shots at the right time, setting shots up, not getting sloppy, not getting anxious. Again, people can say what they want. Crawford's on another level. Is he ready for Crawford? Who is ready for Crawford? Kavaluskas? Amir Khan? Cal Brook? I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. He may not win the fight, but he'll do a hell of a lot better than those other guys did.
Yeah, he will. I believe he will. Yeah, I believe he will too.
So will he do worse than what Jose Benavidez did? Look at the guy, Jeff Horn. Would he do worse than Jeff Horn? Look at the guys that Crawford's fought. I'm going to make a very bold statement. Ortiz will be the best guy, skill-wise, in my opinion, that Crawford will have faced.
Does he beat him?
No, but it's not impossible. I could not favor him to win. I don't think anyone in the division beats Crawford right now. Anyone.
I don't either.
Zero.
I don't either.
So, that question's a good question, but it could be applicable to, my no could be applicable to the rest of the fighters in the division. I don't think anyone. I don't even think.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point, actually.
I don't even think Errol Spence beats him. I used to think Errol Spence beats him. I don't even think he beats him now. I don't.
You know what? I did too. I thought that Errol Spence was the guy in that division, but given the fact that he has no interest in fighting Terrence Crawford, I think tells you everything you need to know.
And I'll be honest with you, if I'm handling Vergil Ortiz, I'm waiting till next year to fight Crawford. Because next year, because you may say to yourself, there's a 40% chance he could win, 35 to 40% chance he could win that fight, right?
Mm-hmm. Young guy.
Maybe next year it could be 55-45.
Young guy. And Crawford's an older guy.
Getting older.
That's right.
Getting older.
It's, do you think De La Hoya was very, outspoken on social media saying, this is just another nonsense ploy by De La Hoya?
Does De La Hoya ever go through with anything he says? Really? Supposedly he was supposed to come back. He didn't come back. Supposedly he wanted to fight Golovkin.
That's right. Golovkin. Yeah, you fight Golovkin.
Again, you cannot take care. You cannot take serious or take anything to heart that this guy says. It's just ridiculous to even. I'll tell you one thing. He looks like he's just really going off the deep end. The more and more I hear him talk, the worse. I actually think he's got serious psychological problems, De La Hoya. I really do.
Sure.
I'm really afraid for the guy.
I mean, listen, man, the guy almost lost his business because he was doing a coke bender, then he gets outed with those Instagram models. He was dressing up like a chick. Then he gets outed with those Instagram models for the Aunt Jemima thing with the spoons and everything like that in the kitchen, utensils and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man, the guy is not credible. He's not. And you got to really stop and think. If you're with Golden Boy and you're one of those guys like a Vergil Ortiz or like Ryan Garcia, who's managing you right now, or who's promoting you right now? You really got to think about that because this guy's not stable. He's proven it time and time again.
Give Ortiz a couple of years, maybe next year or the year after, he'll be out of there. I agree. No one stays.
I think Ryan Garcia is going to be another one that could be out of there too.
No one stays there.
No
one stays there. Yeah, he's a piece of
Nacho said that Oscar could just get out of his own way with all the crazy stuff he says. He's right. If he just shut up and does his thing, everything could fall into place. Let his guys do his thing. Let the other guys do the thing because he doesn't negotiate anything. There's no way anybody can put him in charge of that. None.
Yeah.
None.
I have to be perfectly honest with you. If I'm grading Vergil Ortiz's performance last night, I'm giving him an A. I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think he lost a round.
For who he fought, yeah, I give him an A. Absolutely.
Go back and watch that Maurice Hooker, Jose Ramirez fight. That was a real competitive fight. One judge had it even at the time of the stoppage.
Well, it's not like Maurice Hooker sucks either. Maurice Hooker is a solid world champion fighter, man.
I've never seen Maurice Hooker dominated like that before.
No, and he was not able to box like he wanted to box. I really don't. Like I said, they wanted him to be very slick with him. I think at least that was the game. Maybe it wasn't the game plan, but that's what they were saying prior to. They wanted him to be like, you got the feeling they wanted him to be very slick. Couldn't do that with this guy because he just is in your face, man. Because
he was cutting off the ring beautifully, anticipating and picking up on the movement, studying the guy, knowing where he likes to go, how he likes to position himself in that ring, where he likes to move to, cutting him off at the pass. Before he would get to a spot, Ortiz was beating him to it. He was cutting off the escape routes, blocking the trap, blocking those cutoff paths there. For him to get out of way, he's just blocking everything. He gave him no room to move, and he gave him no room to breathe. And even in between corners, he's saying he hit me with a body shot. I couldn't breathe. He said I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So he took the legs away from him with the body shots and cutting off the ring, taking away those escape routes.
When you heard his interview, his interview after the fight. How could you not like this guy, Vergil Ortiz? How can you not like him? Seriously. He was such a gentleman after the fight and everything like that. He, just a professional, man. How could you not like this guy?
You got a guy, Maurice Hooker, who's like 5'11", right? Mm-hmm. Killing himself to make 140. 147, he was freaking chomping at the bit. His eyes lit up once he decided I can eat now. I'm at 147. I can eat now, right?
Yeah.
This should have been the best version of Hooker. And may have been the best version of Hooker, at least physically, right?
Yes. Oh, for sure.
And this kid dominated him. I'm hearing everyone say he's overrated. Again, it's not a good thing when you see a guy take flush shots and his head's going back like a bobblehead. That's a scary thing, Mm-hmm. But no one's going to go into a fight. It's not a video game, as my old colleague used to say, Ashy Knuckles. This ain't a video game. You're going to get hit, okay? And he's not going to go through a fight against a guy like Maurice Hooker unscathed. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know of anybody that's going to go through a fight with Maurice Hooker unscathed. I mean, Maurice Hooker, again, a world champion, a former world champion.
Well,
You know,
not only that, too, would you agree with me that he got hit less than Jose Ramirez did when Jose Ramirez fought Maurice Hooker?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say
much
so.
less, right?
Yeah.
And this was a better performance. Now everyone's raving over, and rightfully so. Everyone's raving over Jose Ramirez. Some people are even putting him in pound for pound lists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had a much more competitive fight against Maurice Hooker. Vergil Ortiz blows this kid out, and how could he be overrated and not Jose Ramirez? If you're going to make a statement like, or anyone that's going to make a statement that Vergil Ortiz is overrated, then you're going to have to say the same thing about Jose Ramirez. And Jose Ramirez also had a very tough fight against Victor Postol.
Well, and Nacho brought up a good point in the chat. He said that he would be ready for Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia right now. That's more along the fights I would like to see him.
I agree.
Because like you said,
I agree.
You said I would like to see him fight him next year, him being Crawford. I'd like to see him fight next year. Why? Because he's got to have a better chance, because he'll have more fights under his belt against presumably better competition. He's not going to go backwards from this fight. You got to assume he's going to go forward.
Did you hear Crawford in that interview?
Let's talk about that for a minute. So
every opponent that was mentioned, he was basically dismissed them. This kid.
So Errol Spence has no interest in fighting him. Errol Spence wants a 70-30 split. From what everybody's saying, from what everything I'm reading, he wants a 70-30 split, or there's no fight. There's no fight. I mean, where else is he getting a 70-30 split? It's not happening, son. So, listen, man, I've always thought that ever since this whole negotiating thing came out, that Spence never really seemed real anxious to fight him. He just hasn't. But who do they name for? I mean, because I don't think, to me, for Crawford wants a guy like Pacquiao. Crawford wants a big money fight. Ortiz doesn't necessarily represent that big money fight. That being said, Ortiz represents a good 147 pounder that may give you some problems.
Listen, I think Ortiz can beat a lot of guys.
Yeah,
I think I can beat a lot of guys. I like the way the kid fights. I think he's a smart fighter. I think he's in phenomenal shape. I love the way he just anticipates his opponent's offense, and he's able to nullify it, and just he applies very, very smart pressure, very intelligent pressure.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a guy like just that throws all caution into the wind and just swings for the fences. He sets the shots up, and he's a sharp, accurate puncher. That right hand was beautiful last night, and he was.
Yeah, it really was.
He was following up with a left hook, and he was ripping the shot to the body and coming back up. The way he was dissecting this guy, I don't know.
It was good.
I was impressed. I was very impressed.
What did you think? What did you think of the people booing Maurice Hooker after the fight?
Disgusting.
It was awful, right?
Disgusting.
Clearly hurt his hand. It was clear when he went down. And we know Maurice Hooker can fight. He's former world champion. I'll say it again. Again, though, we know he can fight. We know he's not going to buy out of a fight. He was hurt. He was getting hurt. He was on his way. But again, he hurt his hand. But to boo him like that, really?
Listen.
Come on, man.
He fought valiantly. He was trying. He was trying to punch with Ortiz. He was trying to counter. He was stepping in with the right hand. He was working off his jab. He was moving forward. He was getting hit, but he was punching right back, or at least trying to.
Yeah.
He did not fight like a guy who came to lose or lay down. That was very evident. And for those fans to behave that way, it was disgraceful.
It was awful. It was awful. No reason for it. None.
Yeah.
So where do you think where does Ortiz go from here? Because I can't see, I'll be honest. All things aside, I don't see him being next for Crawford. Who did they mention for Crawford in that DAZN interview?
They mentioned Spence. He shut that down. I'm never fighting Errol Spence. This kid's way too green for me. He's too young. He's not ready for me. He was dismissing him. I'm hoping that Sean Porter fight happens.
I'm hoping the Sean Porter fights happen.
That would be a great fight. That would be a very intriguing fight stylistically.
What's holding that fight up? I don't understand what's holding that fight up. It seems like both camps can get the fight. Yeah. Sean Porter's been very vocal about that fight.
Yeah.
And I always, listen, man, I always, lay it on Sean Porter because he's not from Ohio, but I always lay it on Sean Porter. But look, man, he's chasing this fight. Crawford's the one not reciprocating. I mean, that's what it seems like to me, at least in the court of public opinion anyway.
Have you read Libido's Den Boxing's comment? I actually did hear a rumor that could possibly happen.
Stop it.
I know.
Come on. Josecito Lopez?
I heard, though. I heard.
Stop it.
I did hear that.
Ah, that's awful.
And that would, to me, that would be totally unacceptable.
No, that's complete garbage. If he fights Josecito Lopez next, that is complete garbage. And you got to wonder, I mean, like, will that be his last fight for Top Rank? I mean,
he'll be out of there. He'll be out of there soon enough.
Well, Steve Kim made a point too on Twitter. He said that, well, what does it matter if Spence is asking for 70-30 or whatever? What's it going to matter if he does move across the other street and go to PBC? He's still not going to get the fight.
It won't make a difference.
Yeah, it won't make a difference, Spence, and Spence Crawford isn't going to be next because Spence is going to fight Ugas next.
Yeah.
So Yordenis Ugas, which is a good fight. I think it's a pay-per-view fight. I think it's a really, really solid fight. You like that fight?
I love it. I love Ugas.
Awesome fight, man, right? That guy is a problem. That guy's a hard guy to deal with.
He's my dark horse in the welterweight division. On any given night,
very good.
On any given night, he can beat anybody.
Yes.
He's that good. He's that good.
He really is that good.
I had him clearly winning that Porter fight without a doubt. I thought he beat Porter.
He smashed Porter in that fight.
I don't even think it was competitive. I mean, it was competitive in spots, but to me, it was a clear decision.
I've never seen Porter run from another guy like that, and he was moving. He was running from that guy. He wasn't boxing. He was running from him.
Yeah. And he could say what he wants. I was trying something new. No,
I was trying something. Yeah. How many 40-something fights you haven't you've fought the same way, except with this guy, you're going to try something. Yeah. Stop it.
All of a sudden, you got to do, come on.
You got dancing shoes on all of a sudden. I got you.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. What was the undercard here? There was Cienza Estrada. Did you catch the chick fight after that?
Yeah. Estrada is a very, very skilled fighter. I think it really goes unnoticed. The people look at these lighter weight classes, okay? But Cienza Estrada is just a really good fighter. The way she throws her punches so short. We talk about, being able, some fighters are able to transfer the power from the shoulder to their elbow. Yeah. And they can just like shoot the shot from the elbow. And other fighters kind of pull back a little bit, lift the shoulder up, lift the elbow up. She is so compact and deliberate with the way she delivers shots that, I mean, she looked great last night. She won every round as well. It was a very one-sided fight. She was moving down in weight because she's fought as high as 112. This was for the minimum weight title. I think it was if I'm not mistaken, it was the WBC minimum weight title. If I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was for a minimum 105-pound title. And she said after this fight that she wants to go up back to 108, and she wants to go back to 112. So she went back down, and now she wants to climb back up again. So she's looking to do big things in the sport of boxing. And, she's with Golden Boy too. So I would love to see her with the Zone, because Eddie's done a great job with the female fighters over there. He's really done a great job with the female fighters over there. We've seen some really excellent matchups over there. Savannah Marshall, we've seen Katie Taylor. Cecilia Brake is over there in the Zone, McCaskill. And I don't know. I just think Estrada may get buried at Golden Boy. Hopefully she can continue to find big fights. Esparza, Marlon Esparza, one of her rivals, they fought, I believe, at 112, but she's all the way up to 118. So that rivalry cannot continue because I don't think Sinisa Estrada is going to go up to 118. So it's going to be hard getting opponents. But if you know the crazy thing, and D-Style and myself are talking about this the other day. If you look at you go on BoxRec and you can click on a division and you can see how many participants are in that division.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at
6.
Yeah, when you look at the female fighters divisions and you click on how many fighters that are in those divisions, oh my God, it's like there's no female boxers out there. When you compare it to how many men there are in each division,
Thousands.
It's oh
Thousands.
my God, it's just what a huge difference. So a lot of these girls are going to have a hard time finding opponents because there's just not a lot of female fighters out there in general. So,
yeah. Well, I'm glad you watched the fight, babe. I'm glad you could tell everybody about it.
Come on.
Say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
Come on. You gotta be more supportive of female boxing.
I'm very supportive of females.
Boxing, not just females, but the female fighters.
Well, that's what I said.
Please.
I am. What? I saw the fight was on. I knew about the fight.
It was a title fight. Come on.
Was it? What were they fighting for?
I told you they were fighting for the 105-pound minimum weight title.
Coughed. I coughed. It wasn't like a snicker or anything. I coughed, man.
Please. I bet you Nacho watched it.
Yeah, Nacho, did you watch those two ladies? I don't know. Maybe Nacho did. Listen, doesn't matter. All right. ESPN Plus. Artur Beterbiev versus Adam Dines. Beterbiev wins via 10th round TKO over Dines. Let me tell you what, man. we go back and forth on this, man. We talked about the mandatories, like when Canelo gets a JC said, I would like the blonde bomber. You know what? I like the blonde. I've never seen her fight, but I mean, I like her Instagram page and stuff like that. Yeah, she's something else, man. Isn't she from like Australia or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no desire to see her fight, man, but her Instagram is slamming. So there you go.
Come on, Eric, please.
I didn't say anything, man. She's got training videos up there.
Please, this misogyny.
You can see the way she fights.
This misogyny is just too much.
Oh, man, I'm being painted with a brush that I don't like to be painted with. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. I'm supportive here. I'm trying to be supportive.
All those beauty
all
products,
I get is just
all the sponsors we have from the beauty products and the female products that sponsor us. They're all going to be gone now. You're killing us. You're just killing us.
I'll talk to the sponsors, man.
We're going to get blackballed now. Now we're going to get
blackballed from the sponsors.
We're going to get canceled like everyone else. We're going to get canceled like everyone else.
Cancel culture. Ain't nothing I can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing I can do.
We're going to get destroyed.
All right. So what's that?
YouTube's going to demonetize us now.
He's going to demonetize us. That's right. That's right. Hey, speaking of which, man, if you guys like what we're doing, if you guys are having a good time out there, man, and forgetting about life for the next hour or just by watching us, go ahead and hit the like button and all that other good stuff, man. Give us some dap, man. Give us some likes, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Give us something.
Do it. Give us something, Give us some likes, man.
Please.
What's the matter with you? Come on. All right, so Beterbiev and Dines. We went back and forth on this when Canelo fought his mandatory or whatever. We're like, that's a complete mismatch. All right, and I believe Dines was a mandatory for Beterbiev. Was he not?
Yes.
I believe he was.
I believe so, yeah.
And this guy, he came to fight and he came to win. You know what I mean? And he was definitely doing well against Beterbiev in spots. I mean, Beterbiev was way too strong for him. I think that every shot from Beterbiev was thrown with some bad intentions, man. Beterbiev ultimately got him out of there in the 10th round via TKO. But I tell you what, Dines was game. He really surprised me. He was game, and he was a good fighter. And you know what? I'd like to see him again. I really would. I would like to see that guy fight again. He was good.
Well, let's make a comparative analysis now with this fight to Vergil Ortiz's fight. Because no one's really saying Beterbiev's overrated. No one's saying, did you see Beterbiev's face at the end of that fight? He was blotched. He was blotched up on his forehead. It's very similar to what Ortiz was. But also you could see the difference that he was actually getting hit flush. His head was kind of snapping a little bit.
Flush.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could see, but no one's saying anything. But again, because we're used to seeing Beterbiev get hit, whatever, and that's great. Taking nothing away from Beterbiev. He's a fearsome guy at 175. He really is. But I'm going to make another bold statement. I think Canelo beats him.
You think Canelo beats Beterbiev?
I do. I do think he beats him.
You honestly think that Canelo beats Beterbiev?
Yes. Very confident in saying so.
Really?
Yeah.
Canelo.
Yep.
Because I think Canelo rolls Beterbiev, son. I don't even think that's a fight. I'll be honest with you. I'm with you, man. I don't even think that's a fight. Everybody was calling out Canelo yesterday, and I tell you what, man, you better slow down on that talk.
That fight,
because that guy doesn't move. He fights at a slow pace. That's what I noticed about it yesterday. This guy fights at a slow pace.
Squares up.
Anybody who pushes that pace, maybe goes to the body of a 36-year-old guy, he's going to have a problem. Vosdick was beating that guy.
He was winning that fight
until he's got one way to win. There's no way. Canelo is he's got too much skill. He's got too many ways to win.
Yeah, everyone thinks that, again, it's not going to be a walk in the park. I'll make another crazy, bold statement. I think style-wise, Sergey Kovalev was a tougher fight for Canelo than this guy is because Kovalev can box.
Canelo, I tell you what, I had Kovalev ahead in that fight.
A lot of people
I had Kovalev ahead in that fight.
Can I tell you something? If you're scoring this fight with Beterbiev, I don't think at any point you'll have Beterbiev up in the fight.
No, I don't think so either. Beterbiev, he cannot compete. I really believe that he, and a lot of people were saying, oh, he'll kill Canelo, blah, blah, blah. Listen,
Canelo beats him.
He doesn't have the skill to beat him. He's got the strength, and can he catch him? Yeah, maybe.
Canelo is too good with his defense right now. It's hard to hit him clean right now.
I tell you what, that's why I'm so excited about the Billy Joe Saunders fight, because Billy Joe Saunders is a defensive guy. He can hit, he's a good fighter. You know what I mean?
As heavy-handed as Beterbiev is, doesn't have one-punch knockout power. Because this kid,
he took some shots.
So did Vosdick. Vosdick lasted to the 10th round, and then he wears you down. He just wears you down. So if he can't wear Canelo down, which I don't think he can, and if Canelo gets inside on him, because this guy, he throws chopping, clubbing punches. It's not
He's going to smother his power on the inside like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Canelo beats him. But this guy's scary. He's like,
yes.
Remember Rocky 2 when the Apollo's trainer goes like this to Apollo, he goes, I seen you hit that man like I've never seen a man hit before. And he kept coming at you. That's what Beterbiev is. He's like an Ivan Drago, 175.
He's Russian, yeah.
He is a scary dude. Like he is a very intimidating guy. Like the way he just comes and but see, Canelo, the thing about Canelo too, right, is he can speed the fight up, but he can slow it down too. He can hold, he knows how to move. Same thing with Golovkin. Golovkin was supposed to be this heavy-handed guy, and Canelo just did a beautiful job with Golovkin nullifying that power.
Yeah, that second fight he really did. Yeah, that second fight he did.
Yeah. So,
do you think? Did you see? Was Putin there yesterday?
I don't know.
I know the president of Chechnya was there. Is it president or prime minister? You know that the guy from Chechnya who loves the fights and everything like that.
This guy's a big deal. This guy's a very
big deal. All those fighters are big deals over there, man. All the fighters are huge over there.
Is he Russian or is he? What is his actual nationality?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what his actual.
But they all like from the Kazakhstan. All of them. They all. I mean, they. Well, like where's Khabib from? Where's Habib from? Nurmagomedov.
I thought he was Russian.
Is he? I thought he was from Kazakhstan, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Eastern European something. I don't. I thought.
But I remember he met with Putin. I remember he was meeting with Putin and stuff like that, and the guy from Chechnya and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought he was Russian, but I don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's so many territories and stuff over there. Like they broke it up, and there's a lot of other territories and stuff that used to belong to Russia. I think. And then
Beterbiev is Russian. He was born in Russia, but he lives in Canada now. He relocated to Quebec.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Chechnya is part of Russia. Yeah. So Amilcar, yeah. Maestro, he's Russian. Chechnya is part of Russia. Listen, this is why I failed geography, son.
Well, that's why you need.
I don't have a master's degree in geography. Okay.
He's actually a teacher. Amilcar is actually a teacher. So
that's why he knows. That's why he knows.
We're actually going to reach out to him and put him on Beeb Industries to help us do some orientation and do some training with the.
I'm going to reach out to him to help me with math or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be my new geography teacher.
Yeah. Some of our employees that need to get schooled up, like GEDs and stuff, we're going to have Amilcar help them out.
Like with GEDs and stuff. Who are we hiring over here?
We try to hire.
They don't have GEDs when you hire them. They don't even have diplomas, son.
Listen,
what are you doing over? Who's the HR? What is Lois doing over at Beeb Industries? Just letting every Tom, Dick, and Hoss through the doors?
If Lois likes how these people interview,
I bet she does. That's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? I heard she's giving some real thorough interviews. You know what I mean?
Please.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. I'm just telling you what I hear.
But if these guys go through the interview process and they look like they're smart, they have they answer the questions right that we're asking them. We throw scenarios at them. How would you do this? How would you do that? If they really problem solving through these questions, you know, they're answering these questions very, very
on a GED level.
Listen, you can't judge a book by its cover, all right? These guys are coming in, they're wearing suits.
I think some books you can. I really do. I'll be honest with you. I think some books you can. I just, it is what it is.
All right. You won't be sitting in on the interview process, all right?
You can say that again.
with your condescension.
My condescension.
Your elitism.
Condescending means to talk down to people, Beeb.
Exactly.
All right. On the zone. This was a good one too. This one surprised me. Krzysztof Glowatski versus Lawrence Okolie. Lawrence Okolie dominated Glowatski with a one-sided 6-round KO. Glowatski, to me, was confused from the outset of this fight, man. He had absolutely no idea how to get on the inside of Okolie. Okolie's jab just dictated the range, he dictated the pace, he dictated everything, man. And he shot out that right hand in that 6th round, caught him square on the chin. And it was one of those side right where he was facing one way, Okolie was facing the other, and hit him right square on the side of the chin. Boom, man, that was it. And just completely dropped him. You know what I noticed? What Okolie did so well in that fight is his footwork. His footwork was great. I mean, and he was fighting southpaw. His footwork was good. I mean, it was just like he's the one that kept him at bay, and Glowatski had no answers for it. And none. He looked great, man. And D-Style, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
And not to beat a dead horse, but that's what I thought Vergil Ortiz did very well last night. Was that was the standout part of his game last night, was the footwork, in my opinion.
Yeah. Good.
I just think people really underrated that.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree. Ring City, for those of you who didn't catch it, Angel Fierro, who was a late replacement, versus Alberto Machado. Fierro scores a 6th-round KO over Alberto Machado, who's been knocked out 3 of his last 4 fights now. So not good. Wow, that's rough. Nacho says that Glowatski is done. He looks slow and stiff all night. Wow.
This kid has been a hater all his life.
That guy's got a family, man. What are you doing?
This guy is just he's like a dream. He's a dream crusher, this guy.
Wow. That's awful, man.
I can imagine.
Why would you say that about somebody, dude?
I can imagine Nacho being a coach like of a little league baseball team, right?
Yeah.
Kid strikes out.
You're embarrassing me.
Kid, you suck. Go sit on the bench. Go sit on the bench. You're done for the rest of the game. Get out of here,
man. That's just terrible, dude.
This guy's he's got no, I don't know, man.
Oh, wow. That's awful, Nacho. I mean, really.
And this is the caller of the year.
Get it together, dude.
This is the caller of the year. I told you we should have gave it to Wood.
Did he get caller of the year? I thought Georgie got caller of the year.
No, he got it.
Georgie got caller. No, he didn't. Georgie got caller of the year. Nacho was caller of the year last year. Do you work here? Are you here every week? What's the matter with you?
Georgie got called of the year last year.
Listen, I was drinking the night before. What do I was on a bender. What do you want me to do? All right. I can't take it back now.
The kid is incoherent. We need subtitles when he calls in, and you gave him caller of the year.
I was incoherent when I gave him caller of the year. He's still at Rikers.
What happened to my vote?
You gave it to Wood.
So how does this guy get caller of the year?
It was a co-caller of the year. Weren't you there? I could have swore you were there.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't have given him to him.
What's the matter with you?
Him and his conspiracy.
You got to tighten up over at Beeb Industries, man. I'll tell you that. You got to tighten up over there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's doing what over there. But let me tell you right now, it needs to tighten up.
It's a lot of information I got to deal with every day. I can't remember everything. So I got Lois.
She's doing a bang-up job. Let me tell you what.
Lois is doing a phenomenal job. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And she'd take her back out of the closet and blow her up, let her do some work.
Enough!
What'd I say, man? All right, let's try to cooler heads prevail here. Robert, you're live.
Good evening, guys. Interesting show so far, but I don't think I don't think Artur Beterbiev gets to Canelo. I think Joe Smith beats him.
Yeah, I think Joe Smith beat. Oh, great, Robbie.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Joe Smith is going to be next for him if he gets past his fight, which everybody's assuming he will. I don't know. They both hit hard, though. That's a good fight, though. They both hit hard.
Here's the difference. Joe Smith tucks the chin, doesn't square up. Another guy that rolls shots very well. He fights better at a distance than Beterbiev does. Beterbiev needs to get, if you watch Beterbiev, needs to get mid-range to close range. Not a great outside fighter. That's when he gets hit. That when there was space between him and that guy last night, that's when he was getting hit with the left hand. So Joe Smith is very dangerous with that right hand from the outside. He's got a very sharp, long dart of a right hand from the outside. And I think he's got very underrated foot speed too. The guys that beat Joe Smith? The guys that beat Joe Smith are the guys who move a lot, who move well, and who are fast on their feet. Beterbiev doesn't have any of those qualities. So style-wise...
No,
Go ahead, Robbie. I'm sorry.
I hate to
hijack. Go ahead.
That's why, Joe, I think he goes in there and he wins against Beterbiev, because then he'll get all three of those titles, and then he'll get the Canelo payday. Now, I don't know if he's good enough to beat Canelo, but I definitely think he will beat Beterbiev. Yeah. And I think Joe Smith will do his best against Canelo, but I don't know if he's capable of beating a guy like Canelo, because Canelo is just on a different level. I don't know if Joe Smith is on that level, but I do think that those that want Beterbiev to get that fight, I don't think that happens. I think Joe Smith gets that fight.
It's a good fight. It's a good fight because they're both like heavy-handed. They're both power shot guys. It's a good fight. I don't know who wins. I'll be honest, man. I don't know who wins it. I don't know who wins it.
Well, Beterbiev will be the favorite, but that'll be a great fight to bet on, because Beterbiev will probably be at probably like a 3-1 favorite in that fight. Maybe, I would say 3-1.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. But right? I don't know that he is a 3-1 favorite, but he will be. I get you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also, talking about these welterweights, so far from what I've heard this year, they're all talk and no action. You've got Porter trying to chase Crawford. You've got Smith. You got Spence not wanting to fight Crawford. Sean Porter needs to get in the gym instead of being on TV every week. I mean,
you just fat shamed him.
Wow, you're really putting it to him.
Wow.
I'm wondering if these 147-pound guys actually want a boxing career, because they're doing more stuff outside the ring than in it.
Robbie, let me ask
you bringing the heat.
Let me ask you another question about Sean Porter, because I normally never go down this road. Never. Doesn't he wear doesn't he wear the most ridiculously ugly suits known to man? His
Yes,
suits,
he does.
his
Yes, he
suits
does.
are.
Why would you say that?
I mean, they're embarrassing. Like him going on national television wearing. Well, I hate the way those suits. Oh, they're ridiculous looking.
You know what's funny? I couldn't even tell you what Sean Porter wore because I'm not peeping him out like that. You know what I'm saying? I just hear his voice. I don't really see him.
You see it? You see how
you're the one peeping him out like that, looking at his wardrobe and stuff like that. Maybe I got to question what's going on at Beeb Industries. You know what I'm saying?
The suits glow in the dark. His suits glow in the dark, Eric.
His suits glow in the dark.
And the tie is bigger.
No, but,
the tie is bigger than it. The part of the tie that's up to his neck, it's bigger than his head.
Oh, stop it!
It's ridiculous.
He's got a stylist, Beeb.
But seriously, guys, what active 147-pound fighter these days actually wants to get in there and fight?
Vergil Ortiz.
Vergil
Ortiz wants to fight.
Vergil
Ortiz wants to fight.
I give him credit for. I give him credit for going in there and actually fighting and doing well. So okay, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. Put your names on a dotted line and let's see you start fighting. I mean, all these guys are spending time outside the ring, but they're not doing anything inside the ring.
Agreed. Supposedly, Ugas and Spence is next up. That's the next big fight in the welterweight division. Is Ugas and Spence.
It's not a bad.
That's a great fight. I love that fight.
Ugas is going to give Errol some problems, and that's going to be tougher than what he thinks.
That's going to be a good fight. Yeah, I like Ugas a lot.
I like him.
Robert, what did you think of Santa Estrada this weekend?
I didn't watch that.
Huh.
Come on, I don't watch those fights if I can avoid them. Okay.
Oh, wow!
I'm really getting sick of this.
Wow.
I'm really getting sick of it.
That was far more cold-blooded than what I said.
I am getting so sick of this hate for the female boxers. Right? It's really it's horrible.
I agree.
Well, okay. Joe, you know what? I'll give them a lot more Joe, I'll give them a lot more respect when they start fighting 3-minute rounds.
That's a good point. I can't dispute that. They really do need to stop fighting.
I don't know why they don't.
That's killing them. But Santa Estrada is a proponent of the 3-minute rounds, and her fight with Marlon Esparza was a 3-minute round fight.
Is she fighting 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds?
She fought.
And I don't want to hear about if she's a proponent or not. Get it done.
No, she fought. Her fight with 3-minute rounds though when she fought Esparza, but I only think it was 10 rounds though. It wasn't.
I'll start paying attention to the women when they actually fight under the same rules. Their title fights have to be 12 rounds. They have to have 10-round fights, just like the men. I mean, come on, you got to fight under the same rules. 3-minute rounds and make your title fight 12 rounds. Come on.
What a complete sexist,
no
Robert.
More special
complete
treatment.
sexist. Complete misogynistic comment. Unbelievable. On our show.
You've done a lot worse, and no wonder why Lisa put you on the couch.
Whoa! I'm still there, by the way. Yeah, I'm still there. I haven't even made it back. I haven't made it back to my room. I'm still on the couch. I mean, at least inside. I mean, at least indoors now.
Whoa.
You know.
That was cold-blooded, Robbie.
It's cold, man. I'm just getting picked on tonight, man. JC says he could watch a blonde bomber for 5 minutes and 20 rounds.
Seriously, guys, whether you like the UFC or not, the UFC women are fighting under the same rules. If women in boxing want to be taken seriously, they got to do the same thing.
I like it. All right, Robert, we're going to get moving on, man. Thank you so much.
See you guys later.
All right. Good call as always. 443. Where's 443, Beeb?
That's Baltimore, I thought, isn't it?
I don't know. 443, you're live.
Hello?
Yes. Who am I speaking
how
with?
You doing? How you doing? It's Troy.
Troy, how are you?
Hey, Troy. Troy, where's 443? Where's 443?
Baltimore.
I told you it was Baltimore. Beeb didn't want to listen. Beeb thought it was in Texas somewhere. I was like, that's Baltimore, son.
Do you live near Wood?
No, I got to.
How would he know if he lives near Wood or not? What do you think? They're boys or something like that? Did he hang out or something?
Wood, another one of our callers, Wood lives in Baltimore.
See, you don't know who Wood is. Why don't you stop at? That's just dumb. Wait, does he know? Does he know Wood out of Baltimore? You know how many people live in Baltimore, son?
Everybody knows who Wood is. He was the caller of the year.
Half caller of the year, by the way.
The only Wood I know is at the Home Depot, man. But
there it is.
But you know what? I listened to your last caller, and I listened to a lot of men talk about female boxers. There's always an excuse for them not to appreciate female boxers when I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Whether they fight 2-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds, the fact is they're fighting. If you could name me a current male fighter that has accomplished what Shields has accomplished, besides Holyfield, then we can have a conversation. But
this kid's schooling you.
But I tell you what I like about the female fighters. They understand they have to fight with more passion because their sport, needs all that support. So they can't come in there and have like an Adrian Broner fight where you barely punch or you just show up and go through the motions. You have to give your all every time you step in that ring because the sport needs all the support and all the eyes they can get on it. So I don't understand what the issue is with female boxing, why people don't support it. But I do understand this. I don't know who's actually pushing female boxing, but they should actually market it to women and stop trying to market it to men. It's not a sport.
That's
you should market it to women first.
Wow,
that's a good point.
Get engaged by the sport. Then the men will get engaged because the women are engaged, right?
Yep.
It's just simple mathematics to me, man. But I'm always going to appreciate female boxing, man. It took me some time when I was younger. When I first saw it, I was like, nah. But as I got older, I come to realize these young ladies are putting out a lot of passion. You understand me? So I definitely appreciate them. And when it comes to Crawford now, when and if he leaves Top Rank, he should stay a free agent. He doesn't need to sign to PBC, Golden Boy, or anyone else. He should stay a free agent, just like Mikey Garcia. This way they can't tell him, well, you're across the street. There is no street at that point, that foolishness about being across the street. You just stay a free agent and set his own ways, right? And I saw the fight last night. Well, no, I haven't really watched it yet. I heard it. Vergil Ortiz versus Hooker, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You still there?
Yeah.
I think Hooker should fight Jamal James next, or how do you say his name? Sergio Lipinets is how do you pronounce it?
Sergey Lipinets, yeah.
Sergey Lipinets, yeah. You got it.
Right.
You got it.
Right. Those two guys, now if he gets through those two guys, then he could say, okay, well, I'll fight Danny Porter, right? And that would be a good fight right there. So I don't think he should jump in and just say, okay, I'm gonna fight Danny Porter. I'm sorry, I'm gonna fight, Danny Garcia. I'm gonna fight Porter and all those guys yet because he's aggressive and he has some power doesn't mean he's a good fighter. It just means he's aggressive and has some power, does it? That's all that means.
Yeah.
He still looks a little green to me.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
but yeah, man. But
he looked good, but I don't know that he's ready. Like I said, I mean, he looked good, but again, I mean, is he ready for a Crawford or a Spence or anybody like that? Like I said, Beeb had the good idea. Beeb said next year, let him get some seasening.
Yeah, there's no need to rush the kid. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Right. They want to,
he's still going to get better. He's still going to get better.
Just as long as you keep him busy and keep him on the path.
Yeah.
As long as you keep him busy and keep him on the path. Now, the fighter that we need to see more of is a heavyweight, Coffee. I think is Michael Kofi, Cofie. Kofi, the heavyweight.
I heard of him, yeah.
I think he might have like 10, 11 fights.
Yeah.
Huh?
I heard of him.
You never heard of him?
Yeah, he's going to have to, they're going to have to,
He's not bad.
He's going to have to fight more. Yeah. I mean, but that's what they do with the younger fighters is they keep them, they hopefully they're going to keep him busy and hopefully he'll be on TV pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not young. His career might be young, but he's 36, 34, 35, or something like that. Because, he was in the military first, and then he got into boxing. So he's in his 30s.
Right, but
So
typically with new careers like
it.
that, but yeah, I mean, if he's that old, they're going to be moving him quick.
Right now, honestly, based on what I saw of him, he has the instincts and he has the boxing knowledge. So to me, I would say put him in with what's the young brother's name from Africa right now?
The tall
guy.
Yeah, from PBC. What's that guy's name, Beeb?
I know.
No. He left PBC. He went to
Ajagba.
F.A. Ajagba.
Yeah. Put him in, Put him in with Ajagba because I think that they're on similar levels. I think Kofi's the better boxer, whereas Ajagba is the better puncher, right?
Yeah, he's very vulnerable.
And then you go from there.
Interesting. He is very vulnerable.
He's very vulnerable. Like, he has a very porous defense. Yeah.
Right, and maybe next year in 2002, you set up the big fight between the up and comers with him against Anderson. The young boy with the shoulders that's out of Ohio. That's his last name is Anderson.
Oh yeah. He's not going to beat that guy. That guy's the next Anderson. He's the next guy, man. He's from Ohio. He's from Titletown. We know because he's from Ohio. Everybody, did you see what they did in the tournament? Did you see what they did in the tournament? They're already on, son. Ohio U.
I can tell you this much though. Whoever's training Anderson has him watching a lot of what's the brother name from Ohio, man? The light heavyweight who beat Jersey Joe and won the heavyweight championship.
Ezra Charles?
What's his name? Help me out.
Charles
Ezra Charles. They got him. Yes, Ezra Charles. They got him watching a lot of Ezra Charles tapes. I can tell by the way he fights. I can tell by the way he moves. He knows who Ezra Charles is. He knows who Ezra Charles is, man. 100% guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely.
Him has him watching him, and he has him watching James Toney. I could tell. I could tell by his body moving and so forth.
He's a good fighter, man.
As far as Crawford and Spence, you might as well call the fat lady and stick a fork in that one. That's going to go the way of Lewis Bowe and Wilder Joshua. It'll never happen. Never. PBC doesn't make the big fights the fans want to see unless you can name some that they have to prove me wrong. Can't think of any that they've made that the fans want to see.
Big blockbuster fights like that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, big blockbuster fights. It's tough to put together, man.
Yeah. It hasn't happened in a while.
They're not tough to put together at all, sir. It all depends on this. You just have to sit down and agree on something and it's done. If Hagler Ray could happen,
I agree.
Lewis could happen. There's nothing bigger than them two currently. There's nothing bigger than them two currently today. Nothing. No. These guys will never see that status because they weren't built to be that way. You understand me? All they do is chase money. They don't build any legacy. The reason why Tyson is still around today and as a 53-plus-year-old fighter who's putting on little shows the way he does and he sells more than any current boxer is because they built a legacy. These cats don't build legacies. They chase money. Period.
That's a great point.
That's why Tyson pushes them, and Tyson is a bigger name than they'll ever be. Period. There's no heavyweight that has gone past him. Nobody in boxing that has gone past him currently. Nobody. Which is pathetic, isn't it?
Crazy. It's crazy. All right, Troy, we're going to get moving, man. We appreciate it, man. You too, man. Thank you so much. He made a lot of good points, Beeb. Yeah. He schooled you on that women's argument. He schooled you, boy. He just called you out, called you a misogynist. Put you right in your place, son.
Don't even try.
Put you right in your place, son.
Don't even try.
I was going to step in and pull him off you, but it was like, you know what? No, let him take his beating. Let him take his beating. You know what I mean?
Massive deflection. Massive projection.
Let him take his beating, son. Had you in the corner and everything.
Look, I'm already getting text messages from the sponsors because of you. I don't want to hear it. Lois is doing damage control right now as we speak.
From this day, you'll be my new fool.
Caller of the year. You're live.
Hey, yeah, that's happening, people.
What's up, Georgie?
Georgie.
Sit out there. Listen, I got to talk about Estrada real quick.
For what?
I want everybody who got kicked, press him. to take them out. This is not for kids right now. Give me a few seconds to take them out. Any women out there with all the respect who cannot handle what I'm going to say, please, skip the next 5 minutes. All I got to say about Estrada, can these women sit on my face?
Is what?
Now, listen, all seriousness. Yo, you get it later. Anyways, yo, listen, this woman is the best out there. It's sad that the level of competition that she got to face because of women boxing is not as deep. It's sad, baby, because we will never pretty much see how great this woman will be. Just because the lack of competition. It's just not there. And those divisions, 105, 108, she's going to wipe all that shit out. That being said, love you, baby girl. Hopefully I'm wrong and we can see something that really going to show and display everything you got for the fans. Love you, baby girl. That being said, let's move along. So Uga's going to fight who? They say they got Uga's fighting for Spence now? That's the setup?
Yeah.
You say that, Eric.
Yeah. Ugas is going to fight Spence next.
So they're going to rob these men back to back. They're going to rob these men again.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. Huh?
Oh, fuck's sake, bro. Really hard. It's really hard trying to save you guys from this mafia when you guys willing to back up this shit. Canelo fighting again?
Listen, stop shaming. Stop trying to shame everybody, all right? You and your moral high ground here.
Baby, this is so
you and your virtue signaling. Getting tired of your virtue signaling.
In all taco fields. Stop it. Stop it. Let me burn.
Getting tired of you.
Listen, Billy Joe. Let me burn, G. Let me burn. Listen, Billy Joe. Because the motherfucker is crazy. Like, at least he got a little judgy podium on him. I got the feeling that he's going to tell this matchup, yeah, I'm going there on that curveball tip. Yeah, I'm going to do the curve left. Yeah, I'm going to do the Smith fucking brother shit. Give me my money. I'll take my L. I think he's going to say that to the Mafia. But he's not going to do it. I think he will put up a good fight. I think he's going to try to cheat these motherfuckers even if they will fuck up his career later. Somehow. So that's how these fucking reptilian motherfuckers operate. Anyway, Hooker. Let's go with Hooker. Yo, Hooker fucked up. If I'm him, I fire his management. Right away. Daddy, I said it here many times. The biggest jump on boxing is 140 from 147. People don't get that. That separates the fucking little guys with the middle guys. Anybody from 147 up can go over there to light heavyweight. That division there, that divide 140 to 147, and you haven't fought in a year and a half, and you going that threshold, that's stupidity. The management will never allow that. I don't know who the fuck told Hooker to take that fight. I do not understand it. Why would you not get acclimatized to the fucking division with 1 or 2 fights? Don't get it. Beyond me. Beyond me. Pretty much, that's all I got to say. Everybody support. And I'm out.
All right, Georgie. Another great call from the caller of the year.
All right. Just for the listeners out there, when I edit this video after we're finished, I will timestamp it and tell you to hit the closed caption when he comes on, so you can understand him. Because I didn't understand a goddamn word he said.
He was talking. I'm just like, it was just entertaining to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
D-Style, thank you so much, man. We appreciate all your support. We love it. When does Hispanics Causing Panic come on? That's his. Now D-Style and G-Funky do a
Tuesday
show on
Tuesday, Wednesday, and I do the roundtable with them Thursday.
Nobody cares about you on the show, Beeb. Tuesday, Wednesday, Hispanics Causing Panic. Make sure to tune in there. It's on YouTube. You guys go check it out. They got a great show, man. You'll love it. You really will. A lot of cool guests. The Thursday one with Beeb isn't really that good. I mean, I think it's just because of the Beeb. Well, when I'm on it, it's great. I got to be honest. When I'm on it, but when I see you on there, I just kind of change the channel. I'm like, we've seen enough of Beeb. It's just average for me. You know what I mean? I mean, if they take you off it, it's that show is going to the moon. You know what I mean? But
ratings will go down. Ratings will go down.
Ratings go down. Ratings will go down.
We already tracked them.
Yeah, you're tracking real high over there. Let me tell you. All right. News and rumor. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the fight schedule. I completely missed that, Beeb.
Nice fight schedule coming up. Nice fight schedule. This has been a pretty decent month, right?
I think so. Where's the fight schedule at? Do we miss it? All right, here we go. All right, so let's see here. March 25th, San Juan, Puerto Rico on NBC Sports Network. Is that one of those Ring City fights?
I'm not sure, but it's a Thursday.
It's got all the familiar symptoms of a Ring City card.
It's a Thursday.
Amanda Serrano versus Daniela Bermudez, 10 rounds for Serrano's WBC, WBO featherweight titles. I'll take your word for it, BB. Tell me how that fight was. March 27th on Friday on DAZN. Alexander, I think it's on Friday, isn't it? Friday, 27th.
It's 27th.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday, actually.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I can't count. What do you want me to do?
It's okay. It's all right. No problem.
Yeah, that's why I've got Maestro. That's why he's going to help me with math. All right, DAZN from Gibraltar. Alexander Povetkin versus Dillian White, 12 rounds for Povetkin's WBC interim heavyweight title. Beeb, your boy, makes a return on the undercard. Your boy, the greatest middleweight fighting today, Beeb. Ted Cheeseman versus James Metcalf, 12 rounds for the vacant British junior middleweight title. Chris Congo versus Michael McKinnison, 10 rounds welterweights. And that's it. Tim Tszyu is fighting Dennis Hogan on March 31st. So just want to throw that out there in case we don't get there. But so, Ted Cheeseman, your boy. What do you think about that Povetkin fight? You think it's the same result?
I think Povetkin's going to beat him again, yeah. Yeah.
You think so?
I do.
I don't know, man. I think it's a good fight, but Dillian White can be tagged.
Yeah, gets hit a lot.
Yeah, but Povetkin's old. I don't know.
Dillian White's getting up there too.
Yeah, they're both getting up there.
Yeah.
I would love, I would love to see Wilder fight either one of those guys. I think that's a better fight for Wilder right now. But I don't know that he's even coming back. I'll be honest.
I think the Dillian White fight's a great fight for him because Dillian White.
I've always thought that. Yeah.
He's not always in the best. He's not a really great conditioned guy. He fades late, gets hit a lot. Yeah. He can be knocked out. He's been knocked out a couple of times already. So
yeah.
That's one of the most entertaining fights that I think you could put on in this division in terms of styles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be a phenomenal fight. Style-wise, be a phenomenal fight because both guys swing for the fences. Both guys are aggressive. Both guys will be going out there trying to take each other's head off. It'll be a war.
I think so. All right, so let's go to our news and rumors now. Okay, so for Canelo and Saunders, that fight has been signed for May 8th. Okay, May 8th. It's going to be in Texas Stadium in Jerry World, where the Dallas Cowboys play. They are going to allow fans in attendance, 60,000. Full capacity, 60,000. No social distancing here, 60,000 people.
This is going to be like the first actual fight that they're really unleashing it all on this one.
Man.
They're taking the training wheels off this one.
Yeah, there's no social distancing. I mentioned we're going to go see a tournament game tomorrow evening or whatever, and they've got social distancing there, a very limited capacity. Have you seen it at all the games and everything? I'll tell you what, man, they're not playing around here, man. They just, like you said, they just took off the training wheels and just said, all right, let's go, herd them in.
And here's another thing.
Wow.
No mandatory masks in that state.
Is that right?
Yep. The Texas governor took all the restrictions off that state.
My goodness.
But what he did say is businesses have the right to ask people to wear masks, and if they don't, they can call the police on them. So he's allowing the businesses to make that decision, but also he's not mandating anything in that state. That state's like back to normal. Texas.
Yeah, Robert just texted me and said Dallas Cowboy Stadium can hold up to 100,000. I know, but for fights, they're not going to put 100,000 in there. For fights, usually Canelo's fights is always like around 60,000.
Yeah,
so it's full capacity there for a fight.
Yeah, they scale it back usually for a lot of events.
Yeah, because 100,000 people.
If 100,000 people are in that stadium, I mean,
Jesus,
it'd be almost impossible for them. People sitting way in the back to see the fight. It'll be like looking at ants. So
yeah. I tell you, man, I guess we'll find out 2 weeks after that fight if it was a good idea or not.
Yeah.
That seems like a real recipe for disaster right now.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that, man. I mean, I get it, but no mandatory masks, no mandatory shots, tell you what, man, I'll be sitting that one out. I'll be watching that one at home, man. I'll tell you that.
Now, if you got tickets, if someone gave you tickets to go to that, would you go? Or would you say no? Well,
I've already had my shot, so yeah, I'll go. I mean,
you would go. Yeah. You had both. That's right. You had both your shots. I had
both my shots. I'm one of those top tier people. You know what I mean? They get the shots.
I was supposed to be getting mine by the end of the month, but you guys, like, for whatever reason, I work for the city. I have a job similar to you in terms of you work for. I think you work for the city too, right?
School district, yeah, schools.
Yes. So city workers are supposed to be on that priority list because we're always around people. And for
I mean, Beeb, it's not that easy to be a VIP in this world. I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, if it was in a bottle, everybody would be drinking it. And, and the thing is, you take a guy like me who's clearly a priority and you put him at the top of the list no matter what. I mean, I was usurping a lot of people, a lot of big name people.
I got you.
But that's just me, though. I don't know how it works for everyone else.
Did Lisa get hers too?
Yeah. Got hers. My dad got his. So we all been vaccinated twice. Yeah. So.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
That's great. How'd you feel after you got it?
I felt fine. I felt fine. I was the only one that had like any kind of, after the second shot, I was the only one who had any kind of side effects from it. I got tired after the second shot. Just tired. It wasn't anything major. I think I went to bed at 9 that night, and woke up the next morning. I was fine.
Okay.
Nothing major. But I had the Pfizer shot. Yeah, Outlaw's probably right on this one. He said Eric got his COVID shot because he's really over 65.
That's a low blow right there.
I look 65. I tell you what.
No way.
But that was it. But but we got the Pfizer shots. I hear everybody that gets those Moderna shots, they're having a horrible time with them, with side effects and everything like that. Okay. So, yeah. So if you guys get a choice, get the Pfizer one. All right. Did
they give you a choice?
I just lucked out. I mean, like I said, I got mine at CVS, the pharmacy or whatever, and they just so happen to be giving out Pfizer ones.
Wow.
So yeah, man, it's just one of those things, man. If you have the choice, get the Pfizer one. If you don't have the choice, just get anything. But I heard the Moderna one is the one where you're getting all the side effects and everything like that. But I mean, I don't know.
Gotcha.
So tell me about this Mike Tyson Triller thing going on.
So I guess Mike Tyson came out. He put a tweet out. I think it was a tweet. I'm pretty sure it was a tweet. Well, I don't think it was Instagram. And I guess he was kind of attacking Triller because I think Triller was under the impression that they would be broadcasting his next fight. And he came out and said that they will not be broadcasting his next fight. He said that he doesn't know anybody or never met any executive that works at Triller. And also the tweet said that he will not be doing business with Triller ever again. So I don't know. The implication that I'm getting from Tyson is he doesn't like the way, or he feels as though he was probably misrepresented by Triller.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hear Tyson on his podcast when he talks to the fighters like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney and stuff, he's really adamant about telling them to be their own boss and become their own promoter and be the person writing the checks. So maybe he felt like they were looking at him like as an employee, and he felt as offended by that. I mean, and this is just my interpretation of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I can't say for exactly what his the explanation, what he was trying to say, but that's kind of what I'm taking away from it. I think he was offended by the fact that they pretty much took liberties with his name. He doesn't like the fact that they're using his name to promote themselves and stuff.
Yeah, I could see that.
So it's kind of bothering him in that.
I mean, listen, I love Mike Tyson, but he strikes me as a guy who can be unreasonable at times. I don't know. I'm just saying,
you hear people say that I don't want my name being used. Like Trump says it all the time. Like he's trying to tell the RNC that he's going to put out statements from his lawyers or whatever that if anyone uses his name without his permission, there's going to be legal action taken against him.
Well, sure, because there's a fee associated with it.
Exactly. But once again, if you're a public figure and your name is out there, people can use it's really hard for someone to say you can't mention me, you can't say this about me, you can't say that about me, because your name, I don't know how that would be interpreted by law. And Trump likes to sue people, and he's not really good at winning lawsuits. His track record with lawsuits isn't really that good.
Yeah, not very good. So yeah.
I mean, now Tyson didn't threaten any legal action or anything like that, but seemed like he was very upset the way that tweet was kind of worded.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
I was taken aback by that. I thought Trilla did a good job with that.
I thought they did a great job. I mean, yeah, I know he made a ton of money off of that. But
he won't have a hard time finding a broadcaster for anything he does. So it's not a big deal.
I don't think so either. Mike Tyson, who's set to fight Evander Holyfield next. Well, Mike Tyson says it is, but Holyfield says he hasn't gotten the contract yet.
Okay.
So who knows? But speaking of Evander Holyfield, his son, Evan Holyfield, I thought this was interesting, is now being trained by Titletown's own Mike Stafford.
Oh, wow.
Mike Stafford's a very good trainer, man. So, I don't know why they switch trainers. I don't know why Evan switched trainers, but he'll like Mike Stafford. Mike Stafford's a very, very solid trainer. Very good. All right, so this was a bizarre one here, and I'll bring the screenshot up here in a minute. But Devin Haney posted on Instagram, and DAZN posted it also. He got a tattoo this week, and you figure, okay, well, so what? It was a tattoo, okay. Devin Haney got his knockdown of Alfredo Santiago tattooed on his leg. The crazy part is this fight went to a decision. I think that's the odd thing for me. The fight went to a decision. It wasn't even like that was a knockout. It was just a knockdown. I don't understand, Beeb.
Yeah, Devin Haney's.
That's a weird. Is that a weird thing? I mean,
yeah, he's a lot of bizarre behavior from Devin Haney, especially on social media.
There it is. You can see it right there. This was on his social media here.
I must say, I'm not a tattoo person, but that is a very nice tattoo.
Very nice, right? I mean, it is very nice.
That's great artwork right there.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? What they can do now.
Why would you put that on your leg? No one's going to see it.
I don't know why you would put it on your leg to begin with, because again, the fight went the distance. It's not like you holding the belt or anything like that. I mean, the fight went the distance, so I don't.
Well, I mean that's the fight that he won the title in, though, right?
No, I think he had already had the title.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know why he would pick that fight as a standout fight in his career. That's bizarre.
JC said the word on the street is that Haney got whipped in sparring. Who whipped him in sparring?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, and I don't put much stock into it as sparring, but I'm just kind of curious if you brought it up.
There's a new sparring story out every other week, so it's just I don't pay much mind to it.
Yeah, I don't know, but don't you think that's kind of weird that he got that? I mean, it wasn't even like a knockout; it was just like him.
Yeah, I think
random shot it with this dude. And what about that dude? How embarrassing is that? Now that you're on like another man's leg, you know that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's kind of
weird, right?
I think it's bizarre behavior.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things that if you try to cover that up, that'd be a tough one to cover up, I would think.
Do you remember after Miguel Cotto got beat by Manny Pacquiao, then he went out and got all those tattoos all over his body too? Like, I don't know. Like
Maybe
people
it's a
go,
midlife thing. I don't know.
some people when they go through things, they get tattoos.
MEZ Box says you guys are nitpicking Haney. I don't think I'm nitpicking Haney. I don't think so. I'm just commenting on that. MEZ Box, do you don't think that's a weird thing to do?
Here comes the lawyers.
Against the lawyers. I mean, I just think it's a weird thing. That's all. I'm not nitpicking him. I mean, I just think it's a weird thing.
Here comes the Haney Brigade of defenders.
Haney Brigade. I like Devin Haney, man. I just think it's an odd thing to do.
It's nothing personal. It's just an opinion on a tattoo that we,
Weird.
If I'm wearing a shirt that Eric doesn't like, and he says, Habib, I'm not really crazy about that shirt. I mean, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just going to say, hey, well, you don't have to wear it. That's all.
There you go. Sticks and stones, right, Beeb?
Can't be sensitive all the time. Every little thing. Again, too much with this cancel culture. You're not allowed to say anything anymore. Pretty soon people in the chat are going to start canceling us because we have an opinion about someone's tattoo. Can't even have an opinion about someone's tattoo without offending somebody. Isn't that weird?
I think it's crazy.
Gonna get demonetized.
Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora is set for May 1st. I like that fight. I think that's a solid fight. I think Parker wins, but look, man, I don't know. That's a good fight. No, well, that's interesting. It's an interesting fight.
Let's not forget that Dillian White beat Joseph Parker, which is something that I know I didn't expect, but it happened. Thing about Joseph Parker is he going to take rounds off? Is he going to, how's he going to approach this fight? Because if he fights like he fought in the Dillian White fight, he could possibly lose.
He really could.
And let's make no mistake about how well Chisora did against Usyk. I had that a very close fight.
I thought that was a very good fight. MEZ Box says he is part of the Haney Brigade. Hey, that's okay. I am too. I like Haney. I'm a big fan. I'm a big Devin Haney fan, man. I think he's one of the best out there.
It's okay that you're fessing up to it.
All right, there you go. Also, too, man, I tell you what, this is before I go back to the phones here. This is really good news, man. So our friend Wingy from Wingy Boxing, and I don't think I'm talking out of turn here because he's already made the announcement. Has made the announcement that he will be bringing his boxing channel back to YouTube. So Wingy was a big fan of ours. We're big fans of his, and so I'm glad he's back, and I'll look forward to his shows coming in, man. So that'll be great, man. That'll be great. All right, let's go back to the phones here. 805. I think this is Corey. Is this Corey? 805.
It's Corey. Yeah.
805. You're live.
This ain't Corey, Beeb.
805.
That's Nacho.
Yeah.
What are you changing your area code? You changing your area code now?
No, it's always been 805. I don't know where you guys got Corey's from, the 805.
So I tried to tell him. He tried to tell me it was Corey. He texted me. He was like, "It's Corey's on the line."
We find out you're switching up phones. Just try to. We found out you're switching up phones just to try to confuse us.
He's on track phones, on burner phones.
You're like Georgie, man. We going from T-Mobile.
Come on. Who do you guys think I am, Georgie?
Georgie's always got the same area code because he's out of Rikers.
What did you downgrade from T-Mobile to Cricket or something? What's going on here?
To Cricket. What's the matter with you?
Stop being cheap.
What's up, Nacho?
Come on, Bean. Really?
Did you see the Estrada fight? Wasn't that Estrada fight a great fight, Nacho?
Yeah, did you like that Estrada fight?
Yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah.
But really, honestly, the biggest problem with women's boxing, Beeb, is that there's just not a whole lot of quality fighters out there. Let's just be honest here.
Wow,
that's the
rough,
problem.
man.
That's the problem with the women's side of the game. Is there's just not enough quality people out there. I mean, if they had more quality fighters, I think you would get better matchups and they would get better exposure. But the fact of the matter is, there's just not enough. There's not enough talent on that side in order to make good fights. So that's why it's tough to get people into women's boxing when there's just not enough women out there to fight each other. So I mean, until that changes, I think it's going to be tough sledding for the women, I think. I mean, because the guy is bringing up Clarissa Shields having won all these different divisions, but then it's like you look at her resume and it's like, honestly, who is she really beating in these divisions?
And didn't she win some vacant titles as well? Like, I mean, people kill male boxers for winning vacant titles, but yeah, Clarissa Shields wins a couple of vacant titles and wins multiple divisions, and now she's the greatest ever. Go figure, you know. I don't know, but anyway, the fight with Vergil and Hooker. I thought that Hooker did a good job the first few rounds, trying to keep the fight at a long distance and using his jab and everything. But Ortiz, man, he was able to use his jab and then basically just started getting inside on Hooker, and Hooker couldn't keep him off of him from the minute that Ortiz was able to get in and basically start hitting him to the body. And once he started hurting him to the body, you could just see the tide of the fight completely change in Ortiz's favor. And from that point on, he just basically, he became a snowball and he rolled Hooker. Although that was kind of strange at the end, though, like after he hit Ortiz, how he winced in pain. At first, I thought he might have like broken his arm, but then later on they said he broke his hand. So I was like, oh, okay. Because that's the first time I've seen a guy punch somebody and then turn his back after he punched him. Like, that seemed a little off. But
at first they were saying it was his elbow, but to me it looked like his hand right away because he was like shaking his hand. I could tell right away.
I thought it was his hand right away. Yeah. Somebody said he looked like he had a dislocated arm or a dislocated elbow or something like that.
Yeah, like a dislocated.
Who said that?
Was,
who said that? That zone crew sucks.
I think that was Grisham.
Yeah. He sucks too. I don't know.
Yeah,
that whole DAZN crew sucks.
Yeah, I don't like their broadcasting.
He's an animal.
They're too. They almost seem like fanboys more than they seem impartial commentators. To be honest with you,
like last week, I said
like they're literally cheering for guys.
They're trying to be PR people. Is what I said last week.
Yeah, you could make that case for sure. Yeah. It's almost like they want you to believe that whoever they say is the star is the star. You know, like it's pretty. It's pretty like obvious that they're biased.
Did you watch that Breakus McCaskill fight? Was that fight even remotely close? And then fucking Chris Mannix was trying to say that fight was close.
No,
it wasn't even remotely close.
No, that guy's crazy.
He's out of his mind.
There's no way that. Yeah, there's no way that Breakus won more than 2 rounds, in my opinion.
That's all I gave her. I only gave her 2 rounds.
What was this guy watching?
I only gave her 2 rounds.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I thought she won as well. Yeah. She just looks like she's pretty much at the end of the, she looks like she doesn't have it anymore. And she got beat by a better fighter. Or maybe it's just a bad matchup for her, you know?
Nacho, let me ask you a question. What's next for Ortiz? What's next for Ortiz?
Hey, like I said earlier, I would not mind seeing Golden Boy make an offer to either Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman. But I have a feeling neither one of those guys would ever step in the ring with the kid, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not going to. So what's next for him, realistically?
They're not going to. I mean, realistically, I'm trying to think of somebody who's not aligned with the PBC that would be a decent test.
Sergey Lipinets?
Maybe the Mean Machine? No, Lipinets is with the PBC.
Is he still with PBC, Lipinets?
You know? Yeah, he's fighting Blue Tennis next month.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No, he's still with the PBC. He's fighting Blue Tennis next month, so he's still with the PBC. Oh, you know what? I think he could. What about David Avanesian?
I was thinking about that too. That's a great fight. That kid's tough.
That's a good fight.
Yeah,
that's a real good fight.
That would be a good fight. I think that's a good
fight. He just beat the Kelly
kid. I think Avanesian's one of the.
He just beat Josh Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's why I think he needs to step up his competition. I like to see him now, like, work his way in. You know, like I said, I mean, I would hate to see him rushed in there against a guy like Crawford or something like that. Work him in, man. Give him a Lipinets. Give him, whoever. Give him stepping his competition up because he had a big fight here. Give him another big fight. Give him another one. And just keep feeding him.
Yeah.
Avanesian destroyed Josh Kelly.
I think that's a good fight, man. Yeah.
That was a very good fight.
Yeah, I think that would be the next guy. I think that would be the next step up, like you said, Eric. That he should get because he's got to go and fight a few more guys. I think before he's ready for the top 5 guys
Take
in the division. But yeah, I mean,
it is.
I mean,
Nacho on point as
and
usual.
then really quick.
Go ahead.
Really quick, the Ring City cards have been really surprising and pretty entertaining to watch. But man, I don't know what's happened to Alberto Machado. Talk about a guy who
3 of his last 4. 3 of his last 4, son. He's been out.
Yeah, I know.
He's fallen off a cliff, that guy.
Talk about a guy who a couple years ago people were saying was a top, guy at 130 and didn't look beatable. And now all of a sudden he has just literally, his career is in shambles right now.
Yeah, that's your boy right there. Man.
I don't know what that guy does.
Golden Boy released him.
Yeah.
Did they?
Oh, they did? Wow.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, luckily for him, his actual promoter is Miguel Cotto Promotions. So I'm sure they'll try to rebuild him. They'll probably try to get him.
Good luck with
they'll
that.
Try to get him back out there and get him some fights. Yeah, I know, but it's going to be tough. That poor kid has got his confidence has to be completely gone.
It has to be
after
shot.
losing that fight, especially.
He was winning that fight.
Yeah,
he was winning that fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was dominating that fight.
Got clipped.
And then all of a sudden, it just fell apart on him.
It always happens. It reminds me of, he's like Amir Khan. He's like Amir Khan.
Why you got to pile on him? Why you got to pile on Amir Khan, man? He's not even in the sport anymore. You just piling on him.
He'll be back.
You just piling on him like that.
He'll be back.
That's cold. His wife cheated on him with Anthony Joshua. You don't think he's got enough stuff in his life now, and you just piling on him?
That's fake news.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Totally unverified.
Not what I heard. Not what I heard. Not what I heard.
Yeah, and then the other card with Beterbiev and Venus. I honestly think I agree with you guys. I think Beterbiev looked very very pedestrian, but honestly, I think a lot of that has to do with his age and his inactivity.
Yeah,
I think if the guy was more active, I think he'd be a lot better than he is right now. And that's why I think like last night he could have taken Dinas out in maybe 4 or 5 rounds. But I think he
I don't know about that, son.
Get the rust off as much as possible.
No, there's no way he was extending that fight. There was no way he was carrying that guy. That guy was tough. That guy was a good fighter in there.
No,
and
he was.
I'm thinking, the way I'm thinking it is, I think maybe the Beterbiev of old would have got that guy out of there, but he was not carrying that guy. He was trying to get him out of there.
Let me say something. This whole thing about guys trying to get rounds in, I don't buy that. I
don't buy it either.
You don't get paid by the hour. If you can blow a guy out in 1 round, you're going to blow a guy out in 1 round, and you're going to go home. No one sits there and says, "Oh, I'm going to carry." Like
that's going to be your instinct, anyways, to get him out of there.
Now, Floyd did carry McGregor because that was McGregor. That was McGregor.
I don't know about that.
No, I thought he carried him. I thought he carried.
Why? Because Floyd said so.
No, I was watching it. Did you see what he was doing? He wasn't throwing. Like,
you were as stunned as I was when we was watching that fight.
Yeah, but then reality kicked in.
I thought Floyd carried tension. That's what I thought.
That was fixed.
That was fixed. I think it was fixed.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
So,
all right, Nacho, we're gonna get rolling, man. Do you? First, before we leave here, man, do you think Canelo beats Beterbiev?
Based on the Beterbiev I saw yesterday, yeah, I think Canelo would beat him.
I told you.
But honestly, I think if Beterbiev goes out there and beats Joe Smith, then maybe that's a different story.
I think Joe Smith beats him too.
With,
I don't know that Joe Smith beats him.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough fight.
It's a tough fight. It's a tougher fight than the Canelo fight would be, but yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, the Canelo fight would be a tougher fight than the Joe Smith fight. But
sure, yeah, absolutely.
I think Joe Smith would beat him. But
it's a tough one. That's a real tough fight, man.
Yeah.
How
old is he? How old is he now?
How old is Joe Smith? Yeah.
No. How old is Beterbiev? 36. 36.
Oh, he's 36.
Yeah, he's
36.
He ain't no spring chicken, son.
He's not going to get better. He's going to get worse.
No, you see the way he's fighting. You see the way he's fighting.
think Joe Smith's only 30, I think, or 29
Yeah.
or something like that. He's young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like in his late 20s, I think. He's 29, I think.
Is he
But-
still working construction and
last
everything?
night-
Yeah, he's still working construction.
Wow.
no, he owns his own like tree cutting business, they said last time, Eric. So he doesn't do construction anymore.
Oh,
Apparently
okay.
he owns like his own tree cutting business, they were saying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's not doing the whole construction thing anymore. I guess they paid him enough that he can become his own like business owner, you know, so that's good for him.
Yeah.
At least he's able to focus in on training and
I
but
mean,
yeah, like
can't
I was
cut
saying
trees,
last night, Tessitore and Ward were saying that the reason that Beterbiev is so, you know, as old as he is because I guess he had a really long amateur career and he didn't turn pro till he was like
They all do.
28
matter.
or
They
something
all
like that.
do.
They all do. Like
Yeah.
all the Eastern European fighters, like why? What is the sense of staying in the amateurs till you're freaking 30 for Christ? It's like it's stupid.
I don't know, but look at all them
Yeah.
Cubans that stay in there for like three or four terms in the Olympics and everything like that.
Yeah,
They get treated. I heard they get treated like kings over there, man.
I
They get
don't
their
know,
own
man.
housing and everything. I mean, they obviously
they
have it
get
better here
They get
because you
taken
can
care
buy
of.
your own house and everything. But yeah, I
They
heard they
get-
get taken care of, man.
They get taken care of.
I heard they got their own house. They got, they send women to their houses and everything like that. They got anything they want to eat. I mean, whatever you want, you know.
Yeah, I don't get it though, man.
That's what I heard. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. or
Yeah.
not.
I believe you. I believe.
I don't know if I believe it. You know what I mean? All right, Nacho, we're gonna get running, man. Thanks so much,
guys.
Nacho,
Yeah.
former caller
See ya.
of the year, and was dethroned by Georgie. How about that?
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
That's like
Wow.
that's like getting knocked out
That's
by Buster.
rough, man.
That's like losing to Buster Douglas if you're Mike Tyson. 40 to
Buster
1.
Douglas was from Titletown, son. You knew he was losing that fight. We all picked him to win that fight. Titletown, brother.
Titletown. In the house, Titletown.
That's right. That's how we do it. Ohio University moving on to the second round. Big upset. You can't stop us. You can only hope to contain us, son. That's it. I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio University ran the table, won the NCAA tournament. I really wouldn't. Unbelievable. I think they're ranked like 11th or 12th. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Yeah, they're going to get smashed next round. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. And you can find me on Twitter at ringside73. And we will see you guys next week.